Today we're going to be looking at the Fuji 200 that we have in store. Just got some of it developed. We're going to go through the scanning process today. We're going to do this kind of all in real time so you can see what's going on. And so, I'm pretty happy with how the negatives look. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm also going to be doing some live cutting today because I'm going to be going live not too long, and so you'll be able to join in on these kind of conversations. So we're testing all that out. But like I said, we got some Fuji 200 here, and this is the first time I haven't developed my own film in a while. I found a lab close by, and it's very... it was only $8 to get it developed, so I thought that was a good deal, and so I went ahead and went with it. I needed to speed this up a little bit, didn't have time to go buy some new chemicals. And so what we're gonna do today though is I'm gonna try to live edit this, and so you can see it. And all right, let's see if we can get in there. So let's go to, so this should be the live of it. All right, perfect. So let's go ahead and open this up a little bit. And what we're going to do here... Okay, there we go. Oh, this is very cool. This is a completely new world that I'm dealing with here. So yeah, so we're going to get these all kind of scanned in here really quick. And look at them to bring them into Lightroom. And so I'll be doing a whole tutorial on Lightroom, so if you want to watch that, I'll drop the video below. We're not going to do that in this video because I just want to show you the prints and the scans. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and start doing this. So I shot this roll actually on a job not too long ago. I was taking some photographs for a nonprofit, and I wanted to be able to test this roll out, but I also wanted to be able to shoot some film. So I'm actually pretty excited. These negatives look incredible. So it'll be momentarily when we get them in there, but a little bit of an update about what's going on over here at the Celluloid Collective. It's been a very, very busy couple of weeks. I've also been working, I think I told you all this not too long ago, but I also have Bronson Creative, and that's just for film education and things like that. And so we're going to be, I have that already rolling, and so if you are looking to be a young filmmaker or anything like that, and that's how you stumbled onto this, then great. But so this will be all the film and analog stuff, and everything over on the other side of things will be for filmmaking. Man, I can't believe this film is 22 years old. And so when we got this, it's all been cold stored, which is good. But here in a second, you're going to see that I kind of took it for a little bit of a ride. Like I said, this is a Fuji 200. I exposed this at 100 just in case. You never know. Sometimes you need just a little bit more light, and forgot how much I don't like these little plastic wrappers when they don't cut them. But they do keep them from being all gross. So yeah, so these are still all from there. Close this down a little bit. Whenever I'm doing my scans, I'm shooting in RAW, by the way. Last time I showed this, somebody said something about the ISO not being where they wanted, or but I just... It's in RAW, so it really doesn't matter. I try to get it to be, you know, kind of on that even mark, but we're going to be doing a lot of post manipulation on it anyway. So, oh, that's my wife. Man, I cannot wait to see these come into color. I don't shoot a lot of color. You'll see, I mean, when I'm about to do the darkroom here in a little bit, that's all going to be black and white. I am going to do some cyanotypes as well. So if you're into some cameraless photography, things like that, then make sure you are like and subscribe, and that you're on top of all that. So when those come out, but those will be coming out over the next couple of weeks. Our goal is to try to get a video out a week, but as most of you know, it's just Kenny and I, so we do all of this kind of ourselves. So we do all the editing, we do everything, and so it does take a little bit of time sometimes to be able to get these things rolling. Oh my god, these are gonna be so cool. These are, my neighborhood is doing a, I mean, they are just going wild and out on the Halloween stuff, and this is a neighbor close by, and so I went kind of long lens. As you'll see, it started out kind of wide. I went long lens, and that way I can, I was trying to make it look a little bit scarier, and I think that's exactly what happened. There is so much stuff going in this yard. Very, very cool. All right, what else we got on here? Man, being able to see this up here is so cool. Let me know if you like this view as well. I didn't know if the HDMI would still work out while I was capturing my images, but since I'm going through a live switcher, it's not actually recording. It's recording on the switcher, not on the camera, and so I think that's what's helping it out. All right, so we're almost to the end here, and then we're gonna drop these into Lightroom and see what we got. This will be the moment of truth. But I'm very excited that this negative is still this dense. I think the cold storage, that's what's really helping a lot of this. We try to find a lot of it cold stored. And, you know, sometimes you can't find it cold stored. It might be the only roll that's available left and things like that. So if you've checked out like the DuPont, which is our new grain digger, definitely not remotely cold stored. I don't know what that was, but it's so cool. I mean, I love how funky it is, and it's also really inexpensive. We want to make sure that we have some film that's available for everybody, and those are the fun ones for me, is like when I could find something that is not very, you know, would just end up being basically trash, and neighbors leaving for the day. Well, or for right now for the day. Okay. So here's some of my favorites where I start going kind of long exposure, and I wanna be able to play with that. I'm also trying to line it up in the middle of every one of these photographs because I'm trying to speed up the Lightroom process. You'll see here in a second, but when you have to reframe them all, so taking a little bit more time here is good. But all right, I think that's the last one. All right, let's jump these into Lightroom. If you have never done this before, then we're going to be using Negative Lab Pro for all of our digitizing of all these. And so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go in here and I'm going to color correct, and I'm just going to pick a neutral area of the actual color. And then I'm going to go ahead and crop this down. These are 2x3 images. So if you go to the 2x3, then you can crop them without having to worry about reframing them a lot. And so what I like to do is I like to leave just a little bit of the edge there if we can, and that's going to allow us to, when we do the transformation in Negative Lab Pro, it'll be able to grab all the colors a little bit better. So if you wanted to, you can also press Command and bracket, and that's going to change the orientation of it. And so, but now we're going to be able to transfer this to everybody. So I'm going to press Command C, and I'm going to make sure that I have all of that and my basic whites. Boom, 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 copy. And then I'm going to highlight, and for some reason I started in the middle, but that's okay. I'm going to go develop settings and then paste settings. And so now all you're going to have to do is kind of reframe all of these, because if you're not directly in the middle, that's kind of what happens. So let's do that really quick. This is what I was saying earlier, if you were watching the ingestion of this on our camera scanning, then what I like to do is I like to be able to pull all of this. I want to try to be able to figure out how to make it a little better and a little bit more quick. So I'm trying to put some labels of where like the edge of the frames are and things like that. So, but it looks like I got to still do that a little better, which is fine. Okay. All right. So I did pretty good here. Boom, boom. Pretty good, pretty good. So excited to see what these look like. If you have somebody else scanning them, then that's totally fine as well. We're gonna use, like I said, Negative Lab Pro. I'm gonna probably use the Noritsu scanner. That seems to do better with the Fuji stuff, so we're gonna look at that today. But if it doesn't, then we'll undo it, and I'll do it on a different one. So all about just trying to find what'll make us our best images. Also today I'm going to show you this with limited kind of color correction. I'm just going to do a straight transfer. That way you can see what you'd be working with when you grab a roll. I want to make sure that we you just see that. Okay. Oh, I'm excited to see that one. It's like I just put the camera down in like a bush or something. I also shot some stuff like towards the nighttime as well, because I wanted to see how it would hold up being underexposed. So we'll see that here in a second. So once we're done with all of this and you have everything organized, then what you're gonna do, I'm gonna press Command A. I wanna highlight all of those, and I'm gonna go File, and then I'm gonna go to Plugin, Extras, Negative Lab Pro, and then I'm gonna go to the, to the Noritsu. Oops. Leave this buffer on, and the roll analysis isn't really necessary for this one because this was a roll that was in pretty good shape. If you were shooting with something that was a little bit more funky, then you might want to use that roll analysis. It basically takes all of the images and negatives from that entire roll and kind of maps all of the pixels. So it tries to get it a little bit closer to what it would have been originally, and so that might be helpful for you. So everything's went through. We're gonna press apply, and we're gonna see what we have. Oh my God. Heck yeah, let's go into here real quick. Okay. All right, we got some good stuff. So like I said, this is a 20-plus-year-old roll of film, and so it looks like it did shift a little bit green, which is understandable. Let me see. Yeah, great. Okay. All right. Okay, so this is my neighbor's yard. Oh my God, it's terrifying. But yeah, so let's play with it a little bit. I think that the color shifted just a little bit. That happens with the Negative Lab Pro. So I'm gonna see if I can get some of this kind of back, like so you can see you can play with the warmth a little bit. Not a lot, but I also, if you expose it a little higher to stretch that kind of tonal curve, then you get a little bit more contrast back in it. Remember, if you're using Negative Lab Pro, everything is in reverse. So everything that you're doing, so if I go with my shadows down here, it's actually making my shadows brighter. But it is making it kind of cool, which is kind of nice. Let's see if I take a little bit of the saturation back out of it, you get a little bit of a warmth there, okay. And then cool it off a little bit. Yeah, so I think that you'll be able to do a lot with this, which is nice. I would probably want to take out some more of that warmth, but then it's going too cool, which I don't really enjoy that much. All right, this seems like the perfect time. If you're still watching this, it's because you like the video, so make sure you like and subscribe and share this with somebody. Drop a comment if there's a question you have, and I'll make sure to respond to it. But let's jump back in and look at our prints. So one of the things that I already noticed is just a little bit of editing in Lightroom, and a lot came through. So I'm going to show you here. Let's get back into this. Whoa, got a crossfade, fun. So what we're looking at here are a couple of the prints, and at the very end of this video, I'll put the full scans up. You can also go over to Instagram. That's where they'll be as well. But I was very, very impressed with how just a little bit of editing. So if you remember this photo just a minute ago, that this one here is just like, I'm just kind of blown away with how a little bit of polish, just a little bit of dialing back that kind of that cool that came through in some of the things. Also a little bit of green that came out of that shift. Same thing with this. This one's actually kind of cool. I left a little green in it because the face of the witch was green. So I kind of liked that extra little bit of green in there for that one as well. Let's go ahead and open that up a little bit. I'm trying out this new setup, and this is kind of cool because I can actually show you the prints as opposed to the others. So here was our friend Bubba. So yeah, like you can see, it's just like the actual grain and everything is still so sharp, and I think that's really what's so fun about doing all this expired film. It's been a lot of it that I've done, and I think that whenever I'm using it, I'm always kind of blown away that how much detail and depth comes through everything. This one had a little bit of scratches on it or some dust when I scanned it. You can kind of see it. Let me see, kind of in here-ish, kind of like right here. Oh, this is cool. I can show you exactly what I'm looking at. But yeah, so what's nice about this is everything looks good. Very easy to work with. I shot this, like I said, at 100 ISO, so that's probably where I would rate my or rate your roll at. I think it just gave a little bit more depth to the negative, and that way you could get a little bit more of your color and everything out. So thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a little bit about some Fuji, and I hope it got you excited to shoot some expired film. So I'm gonna get back out into the lab and outside and shooting some more rolls and testing and everything, so I can show you everything that's going on over at the Celluloid Collective. So like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. Be kind to somebody, and I will see you next time.